Hi there. Evan here. Today we're going to have a video that is a bit more on the autistic side of things. However, it's got tie-ins to helping the world and also just hair. So, well, before we get started, I just wanted to say happy birthday to Dad. By the time you're able to see this, he'll be turning 62 today. I'm not gonna say I love my old man, because my dad's not old. I love you, Dad. Now, I've been waiting to make this video for a very long time. Let's talk about being an autistic person who is Black and wears their hair long and naturally. I'll start with this. Hair is a symbol of power, personal power, which I think is the greatest kind for many different cultures. People of African descent particularly, but even more so especially for African Americans, because it's like prohibition of alcohol. Like you have an ever strong, it's like you have an ever stronger sense of meaning tied to it because it was suppressed and stigmatized. And such is also the reason speakeasies are super popular with 90s babies. That's funny. Now where was I? Oh yeah. So even with a bald fade on my head for 19 years, I always saw different parts of myself with long hair and short hair. So as far as anyone ought to be concerned, it was only a matter of time until I swung over to the other side. Like long-haired Evan already existed in the future. We just had to wait until he long-haired Evan already existed in the future. We just had to wait until we got to him. And yep, that happened when I was just over 19 years old. Now let's get into the kitchen of the subject. And for those who don't know, that's the very odd name given to the thicker, more coarse hair growing out of the back of your head. This means, let's get into the cons. 1, I am sensitive, as you may know about me, and I don't see how people ever got around thinking that that was a bad thing. I'm autistic, and part of what that means for me specifically, like this doesn't necessarily mean it's the case for every autistic person under the sun, but but part of what being autistic means for me is that all of my senses are always on overdrive. In fact, I wrote the script when I couldn't sleep, by the way. People somewhat mockingly use terms like tender-headed or saying that my hair is unruly. Like a child, they feel so compelled to neglect, but honestly, I don't see how any of that stuff is my fault. I embrace my sensitivity and neurodivergence. I have to. I don't see how they are a problem when I can't change them. If anything, my differences should be accepted by the hair care products and stylist communities. Now, over here I have my Um, Soultanical's Mango Dip Detangling Slip. I call it my Mango Detango. um, now, now I've been wearing my hair long for over 7 years now. It should not have taken me this long to find something that works this well. It should not have taken me this long to find something that works this well. I found it several months ago, and it's literally the only thing that has been like as helpful as it is in like detangling my hair. Um, and if anyone's asking, I have 4C high porosity hair, which means it is super kinky, super thick, and also even though it sucks in moisture like a sponge, it also loses moisture very quickly. It dries out very quickly. That's the I believe that's what people mean whenever they say they have high porosity hair. So um yeah, so anyways, like I've been wearing my hair long for over 7 years now, and it should not have taken me this long to find something that works this well. Like, listen, I tried everything under the sun before this. Kinky Curly Not Be Gone or whatever it was called. I've tried leave-in conditioner from Cantu and all of them. I tried everything, and nothing actually worked this efficiently until I discovered this stuff in an out-of-the-way Sally's and tried it on for the first time. You ain't even know. Um, but besides Shea Moisture's coconut and hibiscus line of hair products, like there ain't that many other products I can use out there, honestly. And that's another. And that's another thing. Smells. Uh, Now I know black people are known for having or at least liking cocoa slash shea butter everything, but that stuff literally makes me nauseous. Like I wouldn't make this up. Like the thing is that like the amount of acceptance that you'd have like in a black community, especially growing up in the 2000s and 2010s, it'd be insane. Like you'd be set for life if you were like in the shea butter or cocoa butter club. And so it just like the thing is like why would I make something like that up like if I'm missing out on like that much connection? And again, it's like I'm not someone for whom connecting with people comes easy to at all. It's like the thing is that my brain's wired differently, and so it's difficult for me to connect with people and vice versa. um uh uh and I can't always speak for everybody, but I'll speak for myself when I say I'm always working to like maintain my own sort of strong sense of moral integrity or a strong sense of integrity to my own morals while I'm doing the other um like while I'm trying to connect with people. And it's difficult, but I still try. um Yeah, and honestly, even Shea Moisture is a work in progress because some products interact interestingly with my hair and create an unfavorable smell mixed in with all the beautiful ones. In fact, I actually think it's very fascinating. And last, I'll get into this. It should not be as hard as it is for me, a black autistic man in my mid-20s, to stay home and do my own hair. sometimes it's the products not being a good fit. Sometimes it's the tutorial not being direct and specific enough for me to follow. But for real, the thing is the the thing is communication is something that Black families have struggled with. At least in the United States. I won't speak for the people from the motherland, but at least in the United States, so many families so many families who are predominantly of African descent, we struggle so much with communication. It's not even funny anymore. It's like Ye said in the song Gorgeous off of My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. It's not funny anymore. Try different jokes. Anyways, but yeah. Yeah, and so how that translates into YouTube videos is that in an effort to be approachable and relatable to other African American people, or just other people of African descent, other people with Afro textured hair, a lot of times their mode of communication is not clear enough for me to follow it, which is really important for me to be able to do, because it's really difficult for me to follow stuff like that, from neurotypical people and the way that things are typically said. And so it just adds insult to injury in terms of being able to communicate this with people. Yeah, and so as I said, yeah, and so as I said, sometimes it's the tutorial not being direct and specific enough for me to follow for real. And the other thing is time. If I ain't got $120 to give to my hairstylist every 2 months because I'm disabled and can't work, I shouldn't have to worry about my hair looking ratchet just because my tools I was given don't work well enough for me. Honestly, that don't sound like it should be my problem, so why is it? I'm honestly may someone tell me that? I'm a designer, and I may just create some new stuff, to address all of these issues at some point, but to quote George Michael, the way the game is played has got to change. I'm not always gonna be. The thing is that I'm not always gonna be unable to pay for hairstylists to do my hair, and that's not why I'm making this video. I'm making this video for me. 1, 2, every last one of my younger selves, and 3, all those whose experiences mirror mine. I'm talking the autistic little guy or girl at the barbershop crying, who's crying in the barber chair at 1, the smell and burning feel of astringent, 2, the overwhelming natural scent of other people's bodies sensed by way of their hair, 3, the buzzing of the clippers just berating and assaulting our ears, as well as the vibration that it does to basically rattle our heads. And 4, the natural unpleasant feeling of hair separating from the whole of your head as it's being clipped, and many other things, but most of all, those stupid, dirty looks from other people who don't understand what terror they, as in those kids and also past me, are experiencing at such a young age, yet they just expect that kid to suck it up, as they say, and just as they did. Now listen, you can't fake this reaction. Like, ask yourself, who would want to fake something that gives them this much negative attention? If anything, like they're trying to persevere, and it's just that they're in way over their head, literally. Yeah. Oh man. I crack myself up because like I tell jokes that I think are funny, not because I'm conceited like so many different people tend to assume at someone who laughs at their own jokes. I am not like those other people. Perhaps because I'm autistic, but either way, in case you were wondering, I am not the conceited person that you might be making me out to be. um, I simply tell jokes that I personally want to hear, and honestly, I think that other people don't do that enough. And so I'm gonna keep doing that. And it's all good because uh, because at minimum I know I'm gonna laugh, and who knows, maybe even you. Uh, and who knows, maybe even you might laugh. Um, yeah, yeah. And so if anything, like those like kids today and like my younger selves, they were trying to persevere, and it's just that they were in way over their head, both figuratively and literally. In fact, that's what I was doing. A young warrior getting beat up on the battlefield still screams and yells and may even still cry from the pain. Like, does that make me any less of a young warrior? Like, I don't think so. In fact, like if anyone's like wondering, about my word choice, like with young warrior, like, the meaning of the name Evan, my name, um, is Welsh, but in proper English or American English, it translates into young warrior. And it has a few other translations, but we'll just stick with that one for now. I don't want this video to be super duper duper long. Yeah, and so I'm doing this for those like younger neurodivergent kids and like my younger selves. And also, I'm doing this for every person, regardless of their brain wiring, who has gone out and bought all this hair product stuff and utensils for taking care of their hair naturally, and still end up looking ratchet because they don't have the tools out there that work for them. And that they can even get at the store. Or rather, that they can't even get at the store. Like, which I sense is not on them, but on creators' lack of insight on including the needs of not just the scalp and the follicles and strands of hair, but also the wiring of the brain sitting underneath the hair on their head. Oh, this part makes me laugh. Like, we ain't even gotten to facial hair. Let me know if you want to hear more about my much less storied but still valid journey with the hair on my face. Now, here's how I see it at the end of the day. People should still have the freedom to wear their hair in any other way than permed, or with a bald fade if they so please. And sure, I'm talking about people with afro-textured hair, but honestly, that kind of goes for everybody, because these beauty standards are really, because the thing is that like these beauty standards that we currently have at this point in history, I'm hoping that if you're watching this in the future, this has changed significantly. However, At the current time, like so many different beauty standards for both men and women, and also people who exist outside of the gender non-binary, they like these beauty standards that we um, are all sort of like fear mongered into it, fear mongered into it, fear mongered into adhering to. Like they're all very anglicized and Eurocentric, which works for people who are like cisgender, straight, Caucasian, often male, and and outside of that, even if you change the sex to like white blonde female, it's like the thing is that there's still a lot of contradictory beauty standards that like that are just like really oppressive and really strange, honestly, that we're somehow expected to adhere to, which I think it's kind of cruel. I think it's really unfair. And so it's like by the time you get all the way over to like enough degrees of difference to where you're dealing with like African American people with Afro textured hair, and people saying that your hair is like unruly or like problematic or bad or dirty or stinky just because like they don't understand it. Like again, I want to reiterate and I want to make sure that you understand that that's not on you. You are not unruly. And you may be tender-headed, but but eh, but sensitivity is objectively a net superpower. It helps me to believe that. Okay then. Like if you like this kind of video, I can shell out a little content about it here and there as I do more with my hair. That rhymed. um, what can I say? I'm a natural born artist. Now I'm autistic, as I mentioned before, which means I am mind blind, which means I can't read your mind unless you tell me. So let me know in a comment if you want to see that, or like in a simple a comment as a yes or a thumbs up emoji, or as complex as like sharing your experiences, like or that of your loved ones in large paragraphs or any of that stuff. Like if you're a mother who's having to deal with like helping your neurodivergent child like work with their hair and like struggling, like if this really it's funny, I think I also did this subliminally for you guys too, like for you guys as parents who struggle to like, and even the younger versions of my parents who struggled with me and my sister, as far as like the sort of things that we were sort of pushed into in order to make our hair more Eurocentrically acceptable. Um, Interesting. I just got a vibration. My Apple Watch. Her name is June. She's on 10% battery. It's been a long day. And it's been a fun day too. I think it's been really cool. Anyways. Um, and and honestly, whatever you have to comment about, I will accept that. I absolutely love it. I will eat it up. Believe you me, I will read them, every word. I love reading comments. It makes my day, so to speak. And also, my mom and dad are always saying, "Hey, Evan, go connect with some people," because I'm often a very lonely person. Um, and that's an all too, and that's an all too familiar feeling to me. And I say this still counts. Um, Admittedly, like connecting with people on YouTube through comments and videos and other types of interactions is decidedly not what they meant when I was 9, but it's still very valid. I love you. I'm glad that you exist here with us. Let me know any of your thoughts in a comment. Even if you think that they're bad thoughts, I still welcome those, because it doesn't matter if a thought is like good or bad, so to speak. Like whatever that may mean to you. At the end of the day, they're all valid. And so at the and so like and so again, I invite you to like let me know what you think in a comment. I'll see you soon, and if you want to watch another video about like me and like my experience as an autistic person, I've got one like here that I'll put in the cards, that goes into a big misconception about autistic people, and really just people in general, that I think like need so much attention. Anyways, again, I love you. I'm glad you exist here with us, and I'll see you soon. Bye. Evan out.